It is a wet and nasty day in the Pacific Northwest, so I'm gonna play under the awning with the solo stove. Now I got this as a gift for my work, and it comes just like that little ring on top. I guess it's a flame deflector ring of sorts, but I opted to order the cooking stand with it because I have several of these little cooking stove, degasification stoves, and this is just a different variant of one of those. But I'm not just gonna sit around and huddle roll close. It's really better for cooking than it is for just building a fire in it and staying warm. But what I found, and this is probably going to be something pretty quick, is that this burns a lot better than these little stoves, because inside here you have a wire grid instead of a cup, and that wire grid allows coals or ash to drop a lot better and out of the way to allow the air to continue to come up and allow the fuel to burn. Unlike this style, it clogs up pretty fast, and so you either gotta boil your water pretty fast, which it does regardless, it boils water. But if you want to fry something or cook something that takes a bit of time to cook, then it's best to have that wire screen instead. I'm not going to tell you how to start a fire in this thing. It's if you can't start a fire in it, then you have other issues. But what I will do, I'll light my own fire and get it going, and just tell you my pros and cons of this particular piece of cooking equipment. Another thing that I do like about it is that it's one solid piece instead of multiple. It doesn't break down and make a smaller footprint in your pack, but what it does is just makes it more sturdy, less adaptable to bend and ding and all that other stuff that those have for me in the past. I don't know that it's really any heavier than the other style, but it just seems stout, you know. I'm not worried about breaking it or even losing pieces, because unlike these where you have multiple different pieces together, this is just two really. If you take it backpacking or whatever, you just have the base and that. You don't even need the stand for it, but it comes with it, so I use it. Why not? And because you get better airflow from the bottom of one of these, you can burn much thicker pieces. Before I was doing like 1/2-inch limbs in the other style, but here I've been using chunks to burn in here. If I'm like frying a steak or a sandwich or making a stew, I made a couple of stews on this, and it just does perfect. It's stainless steel, obviously, so it's going to last a long time. You can get it without the powder coating on it, which I can take it or leave. It doesn't really affect how it operates at all. Go ahead and put that on there, just so I can show you that with this stand, you're able to feed with a pot on it through this little hole right there. I'm gonna get some nice fire going, maybe boil some water for you guys. Now, as you can see, we're getting a pretty decent flame in here. I could start I'm just gonna boil water. You need a cooking class. I'm just gonna show you how capable it is. Also, obviously this isn't nearly as efficient or as fast as a gas fuel burner or something like that, but you're not buying this for that reason anyways. You're buying this because you like to build a fire and you like to do things a little bit harder way. If you're using it for cooking, if you're just using it to roast marshmallows over, then that's, you know, and it's great for that too. In fact, that's pretty much what this style of this solo stove came out for. But I do like the fact that you can buy the tops for it if you want to cook other things with it, which that's what I do. I have the gas style burners, and they're nice and they're quick and they're easy, but I kind of like doing things the hard way. Plus I like having a little fire, cooking over the fire. So you can see that we're starting to get quite a good sized flame going on there. So this pot's been on just a couple of minutes and I'm already starting to see bubbles in it. So it burns really hot. I guess one downside to these stoves, depending on what you burn, these softer woods like this fir that I'm burning here and how small it is, it burns really fast. I mean, you're just constantly feeding this thing. So it's nice to have a supply of tinder to burn up to feed, because you want to keep that going, keep the heat. And of course, it's harder to regulate the heat with it because it sits right on top. They make tripods so you can hang your pot over it higher up to better regulate, but that's just more weight in the pack if that's what you're going to do. But if you're at home, I mean, it would be cool to have just as another piece of toy to have with your kit. Once this flame kind of gets a little tamer, I'm going to add some thicker pieces. I have a couple of chunks of madrone. I wish I had some, 1 inch round, 1.5 inch round chunks of oak limb to throw in there, because that would really hold coals a lot faster. The hardest wood that I have now is just madrone, which works really good. I like cooking with madrone a lot. Makes really nice coals. I'm going to add those chunks of madrone, which I like that they designed this cooking stand so that it has an opening, that way you don't have to continue to take the top or the pot off the top to feed, which is nice. And my other styles have the same type of cap that you can feed through the side, not directly from the top. Yeah, so we've been on this fire for just a little under 10 minutes to boil that, and it's this really small pot. I put a big huge pot on there not too long ago, and it just boils pretty quickly. I think that one was about 12 minutes on the bigger pot. But so if you're just heating up mountain house meals or something like that, you just need a couple of cups of water, no problem. Again, it's not as fast as the butane stoves that you can get, but it's funner, I think. Now, if you're just going to use this as a heating fire, like just a warming fire or whatever, you would have to pack in pretty close to it to really feel the effect of it. Also, you'd have to burn quite a bit for this to start to radiate any heat. Like I can feel it a little bit, but the backside of my hands are cold, so it's not really effective that way. Especially when you're outdoors, you're definitely not going to burn this in your tent or anything, obviously. But for boiling water, and like I said, you can keep on feeding this. And I made stews on this. I grilled cheese sandwiches. I mean, just about anything. I mean, it's a heating source, so it works perfectly for that. I really like it. I'm going to take it out on my next backpacking trip and use it instead of, my little fold down style ones. Because like I said, it doesn't weigh, I think it actually weighs less than one of these different ones here. Yeah, that's boiling pretty good, so I'll go ahead and take that off. So I put the little flame reflector, or I don't know, it's just a cap. I guess to keep the smoke or whatever. But this nice thing about this is that it burns the smoke up. So once you get down below, burning down below, then it's really smokeless. I'd say about 97%, you know, just like this, it burns really good. And at this point you can put bigger chunks on, because that sticks up higher from the top of the rim. It's going to smoke a bit, but that will burn all up. So you can sit here with your stick and roast your hot dog or your marshmallow or whatever that you want. I wouldn't take this ring with me backpacking because it's really pointless to me. This it's too hot, but this other style, cooking top style, has that built into it already, so it really is all I need for that. So my summary is, I like it. If I had more money in the world than I know what to do with, I would buy one. I'm lucky that I got it for free, because I have the other style. I would have probably waited to buy a new stove until they burn up. And it takes a long time and a lot of fires for them to burn up and roast out the bottoms. But if you're on the fence buying one for fun, like what I do, just to make things a little bit more, I guess, more difficult as cooking goes, then I would definitely buy this. Or even, they actually make a cooking style one. I just adapted this to be the cooking, to be a cooker, but they actually make a different one specifically for camping, cooking situations. But if you like this style, you can always buy this separately, and this is part of the Titan model. So if you want that, it's still hot, so that's why I'm being a pansy about picking it up. Then you can do it. If I were given a rating between 1 and 10, I'd give it a 7 and 8. Yeah, there's not a whole lot of things I don't like about it. If it would be cool if it broke down, yeah, but then I think you'd lose some of the just durability out of it if it was made in a way that it breaks down. And really, if you're thinking about spacing your pack, you can just stuff that thing full of your fire kit and into your little carry pack, and you can put a full roll of toilet paper in it if you wanted to. But unless you clean it out real good, you'll wipe your ass with charcoal. But yeah, not as exciting as some of my other videos, but I just wanted to get that out there. I'm gonna get a good fire going here. Now I gotta clean all this shit up.